when did Andy Reid first appear on your radar screen, Joe?
So we were trying to find out what was most common in the head coaches that had most success, which we defined as playing in 2 Super Bowls. And interestingly, it had nothing to do with the football part of the job, and it had everything to do with all the other parts of the job, which were about leadership and hiring other coaches and managing coaches and, having a really unambiguous philosophy that allowed you to be a strong leader because it was obvious, where you were trying to take everybody. And we started just literally doing research for a coaching change and asking people those kinds of questions to produce names instead of the traditional, who's the latest, most creative defensive or offensive coordinator. And we started asking questions about, who's a great leader or who is somebody that drove everybody around them crazy because they were so obsessed with every tiny detail. And Andy's name started to come up. It was a very short list. It was actually David Shaw's dad, Jim Haslett, and Andy were the only names that we got back when we started asking for this non-traditional list of names. And Andy walked in the room, and I can't tell you, you hear stories about, people love at first sight. It was very quick upon meeting him and listening to him start to talk that I didn't need the other 5 hours he spent that day and then 6 hours the next day. For me, it was just really obvious that what we had identified as likely to create success, he checked every box.
Why is he so great at what he does? Joe, what do you think?
Well, first of all, he's very real. And that's an incredibly valuable quality if you want to be a leader, especially a leader of such diverse people from diverse backgrounds. And, you're literally managing people who are making, $20,000 and $40,000 in startup positions in your personnel department to quarterbacks that now are making $45 or $50 million. You have to be real. You have to be honest. He is influenced by his past, but he's totally open to change. And it may be subtle in some ways, but he has changed and he's evolved in his time between Philadelphia and Kansas City. He's just a good person. He's just smart. He's as hardworking as you'll find. I mean, I can go a long time just throwing adjectives at him. And what I'm telling him is something and everybody who knows him, it's not like you got to know him really great. I worked with him every day for 14 years. Mm-hmm. But I'll bet the first time you met Andy Reid, you had just a positive gut reaction to him. Sure. And that's who he is, and that's what people have, and it gives him a chance to kind of start positive and just build from there.
First time I ever met him, live television, at that Super Bowl in Jacksonville, Eagles versus Patriots. He came and appeared live on NFL Network when we were in our second Super Bowl that we're covering it, and we decided to go live during the day. It was the first time that we ever decided to have wall-to-wall coverage nonstop, hour after hour after hour. And he came in Hawaiian shirt and shorts. And I think sandals. You're chuckling because that's him, right? And he just sat down and did that man spread thing he does with his legs and just sits there and he just talked, And I'm gonna time's yours, like it's basically said. That was it.
If we could get a picture of his office right now, I'm going to bet he's wearing what you just said. 30 seconds. I'll bet he's wearing that.
And it's 20 years later, Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.